Anxiety thrives on illusion. It tricks you into believing that you can bend the world, stop the storm, and predict the future. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. This is the foundation of Stoic peace. Think of your anxiety like a fire. The more you feed it with what-if questions, the bigger it grows. What if I fail tomorrow? What if they don't accept me? What if the future goes wrong? Each what-if is fuel, and the fire consumes your rest. The Stoics teach us to cut off its supply. Focus only on what lies within your control, your thoughts, your choices, your actions. Everything else is wind, and no man commands the wind. At night, as your mind races, remind yourself, what is in my power tonight? Can you solve every problem now? No. Can you dictate the outcome of tomorrow? No. Can you dictate the outcome of But you can breathe, you can slow your heart, you can release your grip on illusions. Anxiety loses its fangs the moment you distinguish the controllable from the uncontrollable. This practice is liberating. Imagine a sailor. He cannot command the ocean, but he can adjust his sails. He cannot silence the storm, but he can hold the rudder with steady hands. Life is no different. Do what you can, accept what you cannot, to then rest in peace, because sleep does not belong to the restless mind. It belongs to the disciplined one. In Epictetus of state, Seneca said, the mind should be brought back from external things into itself. Reflection is how we close the day's chapter, so it does not bleed into the night. Without reflection, the mind keeps running in circles, replaying regrets, reimagining conversations, reliving failures. This cycle destroys sleep. The Stoics practice nightly reflection. Marcus Aurelius would write in his journal, reviewing his actions with honesty. Where did I act with virtue? Where did I stumble? What can I improve tomorrow? Then he would release it. Reflection is not self-torture, it is self-cleansing. Like a warrior polishing his blade after battle, you prepare your mind for tomorrow by cleansing today. Try this ritual before sleep. Take a journal. Write 3 questions. What did I do well today? Where could I improve? What will I release now? Then, forgive yourself. No human is flawless, and no day will ever be perfect. The goal is progress, not perfection. Once the lessons are noted, let the day go. This practice is powerful because it draws a line between day and night. Anxiety thrives on unfinished business, but reflection finishes the chapter. It gives your mind permission to rest, knowing that tomorrow will bring new opportunities to practice virtue. Why does the modern man lie awake at night? Because his mind is heavy with desires. More money, more recognition, more possessions, more validation. Seneca warned us centuries ago. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. The truth is simple. The more you chase, the less you rest. Every desire is a chain, and the man bound by chains cannot close his eyes in freedom. Stoicism teaches us to simplify. Reduce your wants, reduce your noise, reduce the chaos of unnecessary commitments. Anxiety loses ground when life becomes lighter. Consider the minimalist wisdom of the Stoics. They owned little, desired less, and lived close to nature. They did not measure themselves by possessions, but by virtue. You may not control the wealth of kings or the applause of crowds, but you control how many things you tie your happiness to. If your joy depends only on simple, controllable virtues, discipline, gratitude, character, you will sleep easily, because nothing external can rob you of peace. Tonight, ask yourself, what burdens can I drop? What desires can I release? The lighter your soul, the deeper your rest. Sleep comes not to the one who owns the most, but to the one who needs the least. Fear of the future is the sharpest blade of anxiety. You lie awake imagining what could go wrong, but the Stoics did not merely accept fate, they loved it. This is amor fati, to embrace whatever life brings, not with bitterness, but with courage and even joy. Epictetus said, do not seek for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do. The anxious man fights life. He resists reality, but reality always wins, leaving him broken. The Stoic warrior aligns himself with reality. He says, let it come. I will meet it with strength. When you embrace fate, anxiety collapses, because the mind no longer wastes energy resisting what cannot be resisted. If tomorrow brings challenges, you will meet them with virtue. If tomorrow brings blessings, you will accept them with gratitude. Either way, you are free. Before bed, whisper to yourself, whatever tomorrow brings, I will endure. Whatever tomorrow brings, I will rise. With this mindset, there is nothing to fear. And when there is nothing to fear, sleep flows naturally. Much of our hidden anxiety is rooted in fear of endings, fear of death, fear of loss, fear of time slipping away. But the Stoics remind us, death is not the enemy. Death is natural. It is part of the same cycle that gave us life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live." When you make peace with death, you also make peace with life. Anxiety loses its sting because you realize that nothing is permanent, not even your suffering. Seneca said that to rehearse death is to rehearse freedom. For the man who is no longer terrified of death, no threat can enslave him. So instead of lying awake fearing the inevitable, embrace it, not with despair, but with gratitude. Every day you wake is a gift. Every breath is a chance. And when the end eventually comes, it will simply be part of the same natural order that has always guided you. Think of sleep as a rehearsal for death, an act of surrender. Each night you let go, and each morning you awaken reborn. In that surrender, you find not fear, but peace. Anxiety projects you into futures that do not exist. Regret pulls you back into pasts that cannot be changed. And yet life itself exists only here. This breath, this heartbeat, this moment. The Stoics mastered the art of presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Why? Because the present moment is the only reality you truly own. The anxious mind is like a traveler who leaves his home, wandering endlessly in lands he cannot conquer. But the present moment is your fortress. It is where peace lives. At night, when your mind begins to spiral, practice returning to the present. Focus on your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Anchor yourself in what is real, not what is imagined. This is how the storm calms. The present moment does not demand that you fix all of life. It only asks that you live it fully. And when you honor the present, anxiety cannot drag you into the shadows of what if. Instead, you find light, calm, and the stillness needed to rest.